I don't know, dude. Everyone's really into the 2000s right now, so I'm gonna talk about it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Exis, and this is my channel Exis Does, where I be doing things. What am I doing? Right now I'm doing commentary, and I'm sticking with that for a minute. My last video was a get ready with me, except I don't call them that, I call them RTTs. I do an RTT every Monday, and I do my commentaries every Friday. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe and check it out. So yeah. The reason why I decided to talk about the 2000s is because I noticed that there has been an insane want and demand for early 2000s trends, specifically the fashion trend. And me being a millennial myself, as a 90s baby up into the 2000s all the way till the 2010s, I can tell you, it was quite a journey. It was very interesting. I'd have to say the decade that was maybe the least interesting as far as like style and everything was probably the 2010s and maybe the later 2000s. But the early thousands though, man, let me tell you something. Listen, young blood. While I was a youngling, I was conscious enough to participate in some of the events that happened in the early 2000s. So yeah, I saw it all. I saw the big I saw it all. I saw all the controversy, all of the fashion trends, all of the cringy aesthetics that were a part of that time period. So I took freely in that. One thing that I noticed about a lot of people who are trying to rekindle those early 2000s fashion styles is that they're really like picking at the best of the early 2000s, like the very loud and vibrant and crazy colors of the 2000s. Honestly, we weren't really dressing like that back then. Like, I'm gonna be real. Especially like where I grew up. Dude, where I grew up, everybody was shopping at Abercrombie and Fitch. And this was when it was like that cringy like teenage store that teens go to that had the minor male sitting outside with his shirt off. Let me tell you, that store made me feel very self-conscious back then. Like back then that store made me feel a way. I did not feel confident in myself. But apparently now they're doing better. Like they're very much so catering to millennials. So one thing I will say about Abercrombie is that they stay very on brand for their audience. We grew up with Abercrombie and they constantly keep catering to us. So that's neat. I want to talk about the early 2000s, but specifically what Exis, cannot forgive the early 2000s for. Some of the cringiest fashion trends, which again, not a lot of people are doing, which good on y'all. Like when I tell you those fashion trends were mad cringy, girl, we'll get into it. But yeah, this is just like a rant of the list of things that I can never ever forgive the early 2000s for, there is no changing my mind. Like, it is what it is. First thing that I would like to start off with is the fashion trends, specifically the Ugg boots. Yes. If you grew up in the early 2000s, you do remember the Ugg boots, and you might be asking me, Exis, what are Ugg boots? Look it up, bitch. No, but Ugg boots were boots that came up to the middle of your calf normally. Sometimes they came up to your knee. They were made out of suede material. If you got the real ones now. They were made out of like this nice leather suede material, and the inside of them were covered in fur. I will show a picture somewhere around here. But when I tell you that everyone in the early 2000s were wearing these ugly ass boots, bro. Oh my god. And I don't know if it was because, where I was from, the fashion wasn't really it. Like when you live up in the Northeast, like not everyone's really thinking about fashion. They're more or less thinking about practicality. And so I guess it was practical. Stomp around in Ugg boots and sport a North Face jacket with a JanSport backpack, or no, LL Bean backpack. If you know, you know. Okay. I guess, fashion really wasn't the thing back then, but Ugg boots is a trend that I will never ever forgive the early 2000s for. Number one, they're ugly. They're very, very ugly. Number two, they are expensive. If you want the real ones, for these ugly ass boots that that make you look like a wannabe Eskimo, like, were Ugg boots culturally appropriating Eskimos? That might be something to look into my next video. I will never ever forgive. Those boots are ugly. I would say that they compare to like the women and men who wear the Nike like slides but with the fuzzy thing on top, you know, like the little furry thing. It compares to that. It's just like a very like of the time period, very on trend, probably needs to die out. And growing up in the 2000s, let me tell you, when those Ugg boots started to take off, all I wanted was for those things to die out. I think, what, in 4th grade? When I had my first pair of Ugg boots, and they weren't even real, but I still had my first pair of Ugg boots, or I just remember them feeling weird in my, like, they kept my feet warm, but, and they were comfortable enough. Ask anyone who grew up in the 2000s, they will also tell you that those ugly ass boots never look good in anything you wore, not even the $50 Abercrombie jeans that you begged your mom to buy. Listen, those boots are ugly. They need to go in the dumpster fire where they belong. I'm so glad that y'all aren't bringing that trend back. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, next thing I can't forgive the 2000s for. Poncho. Y'all remember those? Y'all remember the poncho trend? I remember the poncho trend. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what a poncho is, it's one of the, it's like an overcoat, right? Like an overcoat. I think it came from Mexican heritage. And it's basically like this overcoat without any sleeves. There's a little hole at the top that you can stick your head in, and it kind of rests on your shoulders. It has a triangular diamond shape, yeah. And those things were disgusting. Those things were ugly. They weren't cute. They didn't look good with anything. And don't look me in the eye and tell me that they did. They honestly did not, okay? I remember owning a couple of ponchos, and I remember seeing them in different colors, and they really tried to get fancy with them. Like, they tried to do you know, crochet patterns and knit patterns with it, make it into funky colors. It was still ugly regardless. Like, again, that is just one of those trends that I am so glad has not come back into the 2020s. I cannot deal. I refuse to deal. Anybody who wears a poncho, I am disowning. Okay, well, maybe not disowning, but like where would you want to wear, but also don't wear ponchos. Okay, moving on. The next fashion trend that I cannot forgive the 2000s for is the gaucho pants, or the guacho pants. I don't know how you pronounce those things. Let me know in the comments how you pronounce them, or I'll do an editing bit where I pronounce it properly. I have no idea where they originate from. I just know that somewhere between the years of like 2006 to like 2008, folks was wearing gaucho pants. And if you don't know what gaucho pants look like, imagine like a pant with a wide leg trouser, okay? Imagine that in your head. Use your imagination, okay? All right, now imagine that wide leg pant being cut off at the cankle, okay? So it's like a cropped capri flared pant. The potential for bell bottoms was there, but barely reached it. Potential for bell bottoms was there, but for whatever reason, the designer didn't want to achieve that look. They wanted something tackier, and that's what gaucho pants were. I will never be able to forget the 2000s for them. I think I owned a pair, which, you know, they looked cute enough on me, but I'd be lying if I said that looking back, it was definitely a trend of its time, and I do not see the gaucho pant ever coming back. There's no reason for it to come back. Even when the youth is doing the TikTok, like pop star dance you know what I mean, like they do like the TikTok challenge where they're like, my life as a pop star, what I'd wear as a pop star in the early 2000s. And I think I saw one girl wear tailored gaucho pants. That's another thing, them bitches came in all types of fabric. It wasn't just like spandex or like, you know, workout fabric. You had it tailored, you had it denim, you had it all in all different ways. And that is something that like baffles me, because I don't know, it just feels like, do you ever feel like some styles need to adhere to a certain fabric, or like some pieces of clothing need to stay with a certain piece of fabric? Like a sports bra, right? There's a specific fabric for a sports bra, or a bra in general. You wouldn't wear a sports bra made out of like tailored suit material, would you? Why would you wear gaucho pants made out of tailored suit material? If you actively want to keep wearing your gaucho pants, go ahead, but don't be surprised if I look at you sideways. I will never ever forgive the 2000s for the gaucho pants. Bad trend, throw it in the garbage with the Ugg boots and the ponchos, hang it up flat screen. We're done. So unfortunately, this is a fashion trend that has come back. It has come back in full throttle. I thought we were past this trend, and I don't know why it came back. I don't know how it came back. I don't even know if it needed to come back. But that trend is the low-rise jeans. I hate those things. I hate those things with a passion, and there's a story behind it, okay? Growing up, I had a little gut. I did. It was cute. My gut was cute. But I had a little gut, you know? Especially when I was getting along the developing years. So I want to say around the year like age 8 to like age 12. Like around the time when I was like supposed to develop hormones and get my period. You know, I had a little gut, and like, you know, things didn't settle in my body. I wouldn't attain my hips. I didn't attain my hips in high school. I did not look that great. I remember going to gym class at my school, and we all wore uniforms for gym day, right? And I remember every time I would go for gym day, my mom would tuck in my pants all the way up to here. Like, she'd tuck my shirt in, and it'd be like Urkel style, right? Urkel style. She tucked my shirt into my pants. I have a short torso. It's very short. It's not a long torso. So it looks cute to like tuck things before the high-waisted jean period. It looked cute to like tuck things in. For a short torso, you really can't risk it, you know, because it will very much so give you Steve Urkel. And if that wasn't your intention, well, that's who you are today. I remember very fondly like walking to school. I had my pants all the way up to here. I had my tube sock on, and we had like these, you know, the sweatpants that kind of scrunched up at the bottom? Yeah, we had those, except I had long legs and a short torso. So while everyone's like bottom of their sweatpant, like the little scrunchy part, like folded over or folded under, like the slouchier part, mine kind of just stuck up. And I was wearing tube socks, and I remember kids would make fun of me for it. They were like, "Ha, you have your pants tucked all the way up to here, Urkel." You know, like, you know how it be. Kids are cruel. Fast forward a little bit, I started getting my own sense of style, or tried to. By sense of style, I mean I was copying whatever the little white kids were doing, and what the little white kids were doing at the time was shopping at Abercrombie and Fitch. And I got my first pair of jeans at Abercrombie. Did I? Anywho, was able to like get my first pair of jeans, wear them. I realized that I didn't know like the jean types that were there. Like they had high rise, mid rise, low rise. I was already tainted from gym class when I was a kid, so I was not touching high rise jeans. That was not happening. Like, don't even, no, that wasn't me. But mid-rise and low-rise, and mid-rise too, because I thought it just reached too high up. Okay, so I was like, all right, all the other little stick thin white kids are wearing low-rise jeans. Let me give it a try. You know, let me try it out. I had a little tummy would always bulge over, okay? And let me tell you, growing up as one of the few minorities in a predominantly white area, and and looking at how the beauty standards were back then, where we didn't see a lot of us in the magazines, and when we saw a lot of us in the magazines, we too were also stick thin. I felt incredibly insecure as a kid about my weight. The low-rise jean trend did not make it any better, because I would see all of my stick thin friends sporting their low-rise jeans with confidence and ease, and I'd be over here feeling so self-conscious because my belly was poking all the way out, and it just wasn't a pretty look for me at all. For my 9-year-old self, at least I thought so. And so eventually from that, I realized that I have a severe hatred for low-rise jeans. They do not look good. I am convinced they do not look good on people who have short torsos and people who have like larger backsides. When that made a comeback, I was like, you know what? No, I'm not messing with that. I'm not gonna, not today. We're not gonna have another war flashback, are we? This isn't 2004. Again, wear what you wanna wear. If you can sport low-rise jeans, girl, go for it. Just me. But anyway, all right, so that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you can't forgive the early 2000s for. I'd love to hear your takes. And I hope to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.